Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another makeup video, obviously. So yeah, today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do more of like a recreation kind of video because I recently got the Plouise Secret Sinner palette. I know I'm very late to this game, but oh well. Now it's my turn to try it. So the image, I believe, is using the Secret Sinner palette because it looks quite similar to the colours in there. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll wing it. I don't know if you guys can see. So that is the makeup look that we're going for. So it's like a kind of colourful smoky eye all over the lid. And then you have a winged liner that's also in the same colours. So that could be, it could flop, it could not. Who knows? So I am going to keep my phone on so I can kind of see what it looks like and make sure that I'm doing it right. So if you do see me glancing to the side, I'm just checking that I'm doing it right. So obviously I have primed my lids with obviously the Plouise base, and I've also done my eyebrows. So now we begin, I guess. I'm going to start off, my aim is to start off with really small brushes. So I'm using, I know it's stained, I know, even though it's new, it's one of the round the world brushes. It doesn't, oh it does, 143 Plouise brush. It's very small. So I'm gonna, because obviously it's a recreation, I want to take my time. I don't want to be going that quick, and I obviously don't know how these colours are going to mix and what colours are going to work best, so we're just kind of going to wing it. But yeah, so we've got our small brush, and I am going to take, I don't know how I'm going to show you this, the blue in the palette because that looks like it's one of the main colours, and I'm going to start there. So coat my brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in that crease, but I'm not winging it out. So normally I would wing it out, but this photo, it is not winged out. It's mainly focused on the crease, and it's kind of like a round kind of shape, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. So I'm just patting that colour in, making sure it's in the area that I want it, and I'm just starting out making the shape. I'm not quite sure what colour goes next because it kind of looks like it could possibly be the purple, and then a pink, and then orange and yellow maybe. So I'm guessing we're just gonna go with that and see what happens. So now I've kind of created my shape. I'm kind of cutting off the eye to make that kind of dome shape, if you get me, because that's the kind of shape it is on the model. And now what I'm doing is I'm just diffusing that edge slightly to make it easier for when it's blended in to different colours. So, edges diffuse a little bit. So I'm now going to take one of the Plouise brushes from the cancelled collection. This is the 118, so it's a little bit bigger, but not by a lot, because again I want to stay small so I can really focus of where I'm putting those colours. So I am literally going on top of that colour I've just created. Again, doing like 50-50. So half on the colour that we've first put down and half off. Because the aim of this, you want this bit to be as deep as possible. Hence why I'm using the darker colours first to create the depth. So this is what we've got so far. Obviously it looks like the blue has disappeared, but we always go back and we add those colours back in, so we're not losing anything. And again, I'm just going to diffuse a little bit of that purple. And the next colour looks like it's more of a pink. So let's have a look. Yeah, definitely more of a pink. But which pink shall I go with? So I'm going to use the pink next to the purple that I've just used and see what happens. So I've gone with a slightly bigger brush this time. I'm using 117. I don't know what kind of brush this is. I think this is just one of the originals. And again, 50-50. On the purple. And off. Always remember, guys, that this will probably look so different to what it actually looks like in photos. And I mean, it's definitely going to look so different to like what the girls create at Plouise, because I don't know how they do it. But they just make everything look so flawless. It's ridiculous. So it most likely will look a little bit different. So I have diffused the edge as well as made it all blend. Like I said before, we've lost a bit of the blue, but it's fine, we go back in. We make sure that we do not lose any of the colours. It's kind of looking how it looks, I think. Who knows? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, let's go in with the other cancelled brush I've got, the 120. So this is a little bit fluffier, if you can see. And I'm going to take the orange. I don't know which orange to use, so I'm going to swatch and see which one looks. I want to say it's more the brighter orange than a darker orange. So we're going to go with that one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So that one was this orange in the middle, and then that one was a dark one. So we'll go with the light one. And then again, 50-50. On the pink and on the orange. Don't worry if you start to feel like you're running out of space, because she had really big lid space. I probably do not. So then you'd start to go in the brow, or what you could do is go like more onto the pink, if you get me, because you are going to be adding that colour back in. So just go back a little bit further onto the pink so you're not losing too much space, if you get me. So now that orange is on, now I've obviously diffused the edges a little bit, not a lot. We're going to take a fluffier brush, so I'm going to use one of the Mama Mitchell ones. I believe this is the 3. So this is really fluffy, and I'm taking the yellow out of the palette. So this one. And this is kind of going to bring everything together. So again, 50-50 on the orange. And this really starting to look, hopefully, like that photo. And using a yellow, I find, just makes everything blend out so well. Like, you have instantly no harsh edges, like none at all. And again, don't be scared to go in that brow. Do not. I'm going in that brow and I'm blending right to the inner corner of my nose as well. Because like I said, she's got a lot of lid space. There is a lot of room there, whereas I don't. So I just then take it up into my brow to make it look like I've got more lid space. And also I feel like then you're not losing any of those colours. They're all there. So now you've blended everything out. It all looks blended. Do you want me to zoom in? So everything's all blended. It's all there. Now, obviously, like I kept saying, we then go back in with all the colours we've used, making sure we have not lost any. So we start with the first brush that we use with that blue. So this is kind of the main focus, this blue. So I want this to be there more than the purple. So what I'll probably do now is not add the purple. The purple was just there to add more depth. It wasn't there to be seen, if you get me, because obviously the blue is there for that. So you're keeping in that shape, and you're also keeping a track that it's all blended. So now I've done the blue, I'm not going to add no more purple. If anything, I'm probably going to add a little bit of a darker pink to make sure that it is really there, but I'll see how I go once I've added the pink back in. So I've taken the pink that we've already used and I'm going around that blue. Again, making sure we're not losing any of those colours. So now once I've started adding everything back in, it's looking so much better. Like, oh, I'm loving these colours. They look so good together. So, now you've got the pink on, and you can tell you've got the pink on now. What I'm going to do is go back in with the orange and the yellow, but I'm not really going to add much to my brush. If anything, definitely not with the orange. And I'm just going around the edge. And because there's a tiny bit of product still on the brush, it's kind of doing its job, but not a huge amount. And same with the yellow. Those colours are there to kind of just blend everything out even more. They're not like the main focus of the eye. So I'm going to add a little bit more pink on this bit, because I feel like it's not there as much. And then I'll go in and do the same with the blue, so I'm not losing anything. Because again, that's not what we want. We don't want to lose anything. make sure it's all there. Like so. So now I've blended all that out. Now all I'm going to do is take that blue, and I'm kind of using the side of my brush, if you can see, and I'm tapping that all over the lid. Don't worry about covering like your lash line as much, because we are going to get rid of that, because obviously that's where your liner's going to go. So your main focus is making sure that you are covering all the eye on the lid, not as much on the lash line. This blue is beautiful. I'm loving this colour. It's like a turquoise kind of blue, but not, if you get me. So that is basically the eyeshadow. Now I think it's going to be the harder bit. It's trying to get that liner perfect. It's going to be hard, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So again, take your micellar water with your Q-tips. Obviously, because I've now got more of the point to them, if you can see, it's probably going to be easier to create the liner. So this is what we'd normally do with a cut crease. We are taking away that product because obviously you're going to be putting a base down first, and you don't want anything mixing because you want to make sure that it's all there, like your next colours. Whereas if you've got colour already down and then you put a clear one, well, not clear, a normal base on top, the normal base is going to mix with the colour underneath and create a funny colour. So then when you go to put like the ombre effect on there, it won't look as sharp because you're kind of losing those colours with the base that's mixed with the colours before, if that makes any sense. But if you get me, you get me. So now I'm actually scared to do this. So I've got my micellar water on my Q-tip, and I am going to start small. Do not go in straight away with this really big harsh line where you're going to put the liner, because it could go so wrong. Whereas if you start small, it will be a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get a clean Q-tip and a wet one. So I'm basically just doing what I do with a normal liner, but obviously I'm taking it away. And removing the product instead of adding product, as you can see. So now I've got like the line of where the base is going to go. Now we do the wing. So again, I'm scared to do this bit, but it's fine. You only actually, with creating the wing and taking away the product, you're not taking away that much product, because obviously it stops after a certain amount, if I'm making any sense. So obviously with this liner, you want it to be thick, because you don't want to have it really thin and then when you come to do the ombre effect, it doesn't work. So I'm just going back and forward. Yeah, because if you look at the liner, it's very sharp, and I feel like if I was to do it with a normal base, it could smudge and crease, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna use the blank canvas, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with an angled brush to start with. This is E29, because I want to make sure that I'm getting that shape right. And using probably an angled brush is going to be easier, because you just tap in that base in. And because you've already got such a sharp line with this brush, you're not having to draw it on yourself, if you get me. It's kind of doing the work for you. All you're having to do is tap in. So I've kind of done the eyelid already, quite easy. It's now the wing. Because obviously I want it to be a certain thickness. Okay, that shape could work. I feel like that will do. Okay. But the trick with this, you want to make sure that the actual liner, the line is sharp as it possibly can be, because that's how you get such a good contrast from the liner and the shadow. Okay, so what I'd say is don't worry too much about that being perfect, because you can see I've got a little bit of a bump. That's fine, because obviously now you're going to be working on putting those shadows on, so they will move, they will drop further down, but you can literally take a Q-tip at the end, wipe it away, and you've created some really sharp liner. Easy. So now I want to focus on using more of like my flat brushes to get the colour on. So your focus is tapping with this. You don't want to be blending, you just want to tap, because obviously you don't want it going any further up than where you've created that liner already. So I'm gonna start here, because I believe that's where the dark is. Yeah, so the blue is at the end, then it's like your pinky purple on this section, and then it's your orange and yellow. So all you need to do is tap. Again, do not worry about that bottom line, you will go past it. Trying to get it right up to the top line is where it can get a little bit tricky, because it doesn't always want to stick. But if you use the very, very top of the brush and kind of dip it into your eyeshadow like that, you will then see that, okay, it's actually going up to that line. So I'm just tapping. Yes, it looks crazy now. I promise you, when it's done, fingers crossed it won't look that crazy. It will look good. So blue is on. Now we want to move on to like your pinks and your purple. So I am going to use a really small brush. I'm going to use the brush that I normally cut my crease with, so I can focus on applying it but also blending it at the same time. So I'm gonna, start off with the pink, and because obviously this bit is getting narrower, it's probably easier to use a smaller brush than a bigger brush that I've just used. This palette is so pigmented, I can't believe it. So again, all I'm doing is patting it on. And now is where it's going to start blending with that blue. So what you're going to do is get the blue brush and you're going to kind of drag in motions. And you'll notice that you'll start to get a really good fade. And then you do the same with the pink. And this is kind of what we've got so far. That's what it was looking like. So now we want an orange and a yellow. So I'll go in with my orange and I'm just doing the same. And I'm applying that colour. And then you want to fade it. So you're kind of already getting your ombre. But what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll go over any colours that we've lost. So you're kind of doing the same technique that you would on a normal eyeshadow look. So I'm now adding the yellow. And you'd probably know that already that a yellow and orange is like the easiest colours you can blend with, because they just naturally blend. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to add more pink. So I'm going to add more pink so I've not lost any of that. And I'm also going to take a little bit of that blue and blend it further across. Right, now we've done that, all you have to do now, get a Q-tip and just take away anything that's fallen underneath that wing, so you will then have a really sharp wing. And fabulous, that if you can see. Can you see? That is what we've got. So I'm going to show you guys the photo. So that's the photo, and that is the eye look. The only difference is her wing looks a little bit thicker, and also it's not as long as mine, but I prefer a longer liner. And if I did my wing too thick, it'd then go up to my crease, and then you kind of lose it. So I've changed the look to suit my eyes, basically. That's what I've done. So now what I'm going to do is obviously do my other eye, jump off camera, and then do my face, and I will come back, and well, yeah, that's it basically. So I'll see you soon, guys. I won't be long. So guys, hold on, let me zoom you out. So guys, I am back with the finished look. I have done my eyes. I don't know if you can see. That's what they look like. I feel like this eye took the longest to do. Don't know what was going off, but it just was not happening. So it could probably look very different on camera, but who cares? I'm absolutely loving the colours that are on my eyes. Like, wow, that palette is so pigmented. But you will also notice that my lips are not nude. They're not nude. All I've done is put the Mama Mitchell blush on in Peach Sugar. And I've also obviously put it on my cheeks, obviously. I don't know why I did it. I just felt like because this look is quite crazy, I felt like I needed something to balance out my face. So, yeah. This is what we've gone for. A crazy lip with a crazy eye. I mean, I feel like it kind of looks the same as what it was supposed to. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And then if I zoom it in, that is what my eyes look like. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. So yeah, I feel like they're quite similar. The only difference is the liner. But like I said earlier, she's got a lot more lid space, so she could have a thicker liner. Whereas if I did a thicker liner, then it'd get lost. Like, you wouldn't be able to see it, and then, yeah. So that's probably the only difference that I can pick up on. And now I've got lashes on, I feel like you can't see the yellow, but it's fine. It's fine. I feel like I'm quite happy with it. I feel like this eye looks awful. I don't know why, I don't know what was going off, but it just was not working. So we move on. But at least this eye looks good, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get some really good photos. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you do like these kind of videos where I recreate kind of certain looks, let me know and I can do a few more. Or you guys can send me over some photos of looks that you really like and want me to recreate. I can 100% do that. It's quite fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe as normal, please, and obviously put that notification bell on, because like I said before, there's a lot more videos coming your way, and obviously now we're in lockdown, there could be a few more, there could be extra videos, who knows. So yeah, thanks guys, bye.